Hey everyone, I am Arkenly Artist and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, a little bit about myself. I'm Arkenly Artist and whoops, and I'm just trying to get back to my art practice and I'd like you all to come along this journey as well. And here's my second sketchbook that I've managed to complete. So this is an A6 sketchbook and a lot of things that I experimented in here, and this is that one book that helped me to have like a sustainable art practice. And I love you all to look at what all I've got in here. So first up, this book was just sent by my company. Like, I am a full-time employee and I'll be talking about that maybe a little here and there in future. But yeah, I'm a full-time employee and I'm trying to maintain and balance an art practice within my life. So this is what I got, like a small token for probably Women's Day. And then I thought, okay, I got this small tiny book, and the cover of it had our company's logo, which I sort of blurred it out. And then actually, the hardcover is seed paper that you can just tear it and soak it in water, and probably you can plant it. But I haven't done that yet. Probably I'll do that in future. So this was an A6 book, and I thought, okay, let me give an art practice its due, and I kind of like took it really seriously. So let's get started. First up, here is the start and end date of the sketchbook. I have written my name. I am hiding my name for now. So probably I would like to reveal a bit more about myself later on. If you can see, this is collage. I remember I had some color paper left, and I thought, okay, let me, instead of just drawing or painting, let me just put up some collage together and add a background, and let's see how it goes, was the idea. Because I was very much interested in experimenting with lots of different things. So this is how I started off. So this is a collage paper, and then background I've painted. Then okay, this is a little messy. Again, this was something I was just trying my hands on. Like, for example, this, the background is acrylic, and I tried to paint poster colors over it. But when I went and tried to varnish the entire piece, it just erased the poster paints. So again, like, I wasn't following any tutorial or anything. I just randomly started doing it, and yeah, it's acrylic and poster mix. And this is something I thought is going to be my artist signature. I don't know, there's no rhyme or reason, probably. I just came up with that. Next is this 25th May 2024. This is again, I just got an idea of drawing a skull with some bones around and trying to give it some nasty vibe. Again, this is poster color. This is poster color. Here it's a mixed media. As you can see, I have stuck some paper strips, and this is an acrylic background, and I tried to paint it over with poster colors again. So it's a mixed media piece with my signature again. So I guess for anyone who is trying to create art, I would say, like, gather some bits and pieces of paper and try to like incorporate them into your tiny art pieces. It just gives you a little bit of an interesting element, and you can also use any piece of mixed media creatively, like, no limits. is what I'm trying to tell. Ooh, this is, I would say, maybe this is my OG character. I don't know what this is. Hopefully, it's an alien. It looks like one. So sometimes I just get these ideas of crazy aliens, and I did it with ink, like fine liner, and then this is oil pastel background, and I suppose this is their assistants. I don't know how many of you are familiar of a show called Prometheus and Bob. It used to come on Nickelodeon. It was a part of a series called Kablam. So I used to watch Prometheus and Bob, and this looks like Prometheus's head. So probably that could be my inspiration. And this is a mix of, I would say, color pencils and some. I'm definitely sure this is some makeup product that I used. I mean, again, for anyone who's trying out different things, want to do a bit of different art practice, I would suggest like you guys to mix and match a lot of things, and you'll see me that I've used foundation and makeup, lipsticks, eyeshadow sticks, or whatever, just to give some texture. So this is color pencil and some mixed media stuff. This is again oil pastel and ink. I think I just drew it by looking at the random picture on the internet. So this is that. This is called cat deity. So when I was wondering like what to draw, I saw that there was a pattern on my dress itself. I saw a pattern, and I'm like, okay, this pattern reminds me of a cat. Like it truly does remind me of a cat, and it has all these ancient designs and ornate symbols and everything. So I thought, okay, I guess this is not just any other cat. This is the cat deity. So that's why I just wrote cat deity at the bottom. I guess that was like something fun. So you're trying to like look at things. That's what happens when you are first trying to draw and practice and see. You try to just make up things, see things, and then imagine them to be something else. So that was that. This is again like whenever I feel like, okay, what can I draw today? I was really trying hard to keep up with my art practice, and it's like a small penguin, some car, some ramen noodles, egg ramen noodles, penguin, and the pigeon. This pigeon, I guess, I just saw it on the terrace, and I thought, okay, let me remember how it looks and just come back and draw. And that's how it came, and the rest all I guess are from the internet. It's a mix of things. Again, so back then I used to go to a park, and at one point in the entire park, I just saw only one flower bloom, and that was like really tiny, really tiny. So I guess I try to capture that feeling with an oil pastel. Right now, I love watercolors, but in the beginning, I was trying all kinds of media and oil pastel, and I like the texture that it gives. But back then, when I was trying, I didn't really like oil pastel, and I thought, okay, maybe it's not for me. But I guess I have a different thought process now. This one, I guess this is the Loomis method, if I'm not wrong, but I have followed Mark Liam Smith. Um, like he was teaching how to draw a head in one of his YouTube short tutorials, I believe. So I just wrote down, like I drew the process like a couple of times, and I tried to follow his steps, and it just kind of turned out decent. So I'm still figuring out like what are my interests, what is it something that I'd like to draw. So I was trying anything and everything, and that's my suggestion to everyone as well. If you are just trying to draw, just experiment with mediums. There is no boundary, no limit. Just do what all you can do. Again, this is by following Mark Liam Smith's tutorial. Like, I never really thought I could draw a tiger like this, but I think Mark Liam Smith is a really good teacher. Teaches values and shading and stuff. So I quite enjoyed this drawing. So I also drew the skeleton version. I mean, the Loomis method for an animal, maybe. I just drew it so that I would understand how I got here. This is again, this is not a reference. This is something I was trying to draw from my own surroundings. So it's a pizza, some premium breakfast, jam, hot chocolate, vada pav, this cheese sandwich. So this wasn't from any reference. This was just from my life. Mark Liam Smith, seahorse. So any and every drawing is made up of shapes, so that's what he was trying to like portray, the same thing, teach us. I guess I kind of followed it along to the T, the shading and everything. Again, Mark Liam Smith, he showcased that with just certain shapes we can create something incredible. Like, I never really thought I could draw a hippo like this, but it's as realistic as it can get. This was okay. I am still not good at many things, especially perspective. So, this is me in a Teams call working, and I was so overwhelmed. And then I'm like, okay, I need to draw this just to calm myself down. You can see like the perspective kind of sucks. But yeah, that's what I was trying to do, just trying to get over with that day again. So here I was trying to experiment with, I think, glitter pens. If these were actually gold and silver glitter pens. I think it's of Doms, I believe, the brand Doms. But yeah, this is gold and silver. And as you can see, I've scribbled a lot of silver, and then I wrote the word chaos and scribbled again with a golden pen as well. So it's like you're just trying to get into the flow. So you just go ahead and just put that thing on the paper and just let it do its work. Again, I believe this is by Mark Liam Smith, if I am not wrong. Like, if there is something that I've written, like some notes about symmetrical, asymmetrical, I am assuming it's from Mark Liam Smith. It's just shading. It's a bonsai tree. I'm trying to trying to understand basically. This is definitely Mark Liam Smith. In one of his tutorials, he simply teaches you to just draw a chameleon and animals and all of these things that look like really complex, but he sort of breaks them down into shapes, and then he shades them, and he talks about values and everything. That's kind of really important. If you remember, I mentioned earlier that I do and I did use makeup products in my painting, and this is one example. This is if I'm not wrong, it's a concealer tube thing, LA Girl concealer. It wasn't my shade, so but anyways, I got it and I just started using it. So the process of this was, first I gave a watercolor background. Over that, I just made some circles with the concealer, and then I went back and doodled in these circles, as you can see, and it that's what the effect, like, I don't know, some tribal amoeba effect. This was, I don't know, I guess I was trying to draw something off internet. So as you can see, the proportions aren't really great. Catastrophe. Cat attack. So yeah, it's just some random drawing. I still need to get good at a lot of things. I've made a list of things I need to work on, but I'm kind of really embarrassed to show all of these things. But I guess it's important to showcase that, okay, this is where I'm coming from, and this is what my level was, let's say, a year ago. Oh, yeah. At one point, I thought, let me draw some interesting people. Like, let me doodle people. So this is all from, again, a random internet search about doodle people, and I just tried to recreate them. So all of these faces, different faces and hairstyles and expressions, features, is all like really interesting. I mean, I like, just look at these things. This is liquid lipsticks. I guess I've used a couple of liquid lipsticks and I created this pattern. I mean, it was definitely fun doing that. I mean, of course, it'll bleed through and all of that, but I thought, okay, you know what? It's just a cheap paper and I'm just experimenting, so let me just do that. So I always suggest that, especially if someone who's just starting out on their art journey, just get some cheap material, cheap stuff, just play around a lot, you know, instead of just pushing yourself to get something really expensive and not drawing in that at all. It's better you know, get some cheap paper, just put on some color and then just play around with it a little. Again, some doodle people. Okay, this was a pattern thingy. I guess I saw some exercise that one can do by drawing a lot of like shapes, like blank shapes, and then challenging yourself to fill in each of these shapes or grids with some sort of pattern. So as you can see, I tried with a couple of patterns that just came to my mind. Like, you're just putting yourself on the spot and just filling it up with random things, dots, lines, squares, whatever. This, I don't know what this is, but this is of oil pastel again. Sometimes when you don't know what to draw, it's better to just scribble something. If I think too deeply, I guess this is water, some greenery, mountain, sun, and sky. This is again oil pastel. So oil pastels are like very, you can make some really quick quirky things with it, is what I am understanding now as I look back. Because I did a bit of oil pastel stuff and I thought, okay, this is not for me, this is not my medium. I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I don't really enjoy dry medium. You know, I need to have watercolors, I need to have that wet mediums to work around and mixing my colors and etc. But trust me, I think dry medium has its own fun, quirky things that you can do. I guess I will pick up oil pastels again. Like, I have here, I've swatched them. These are Mungyo's water soluble oil pastels. Mungyo. Did I really pronounce it correctly? I don't know. But yeah, this is like a recent oil pastel set that I got. The only reason I got that was because it's water soluble, so I wanted to see how it will work with other mediums and what effect does it give. So probably in future you will see me talk about that. But yeah, this is not water soluble oil pastel. This is a normal camel oil pastels. Okay, this is a dead fish and this is an oil pastel stuff. So as you can see, just look at the effect. It's a very interesting texture oil pastels create. Is something at that time I didn't really like it, but now I'm just falling for it all over again. Again, some random shapes with oil pastels. If you're stuck with your art practice, I would suggest, like, pick up a random thing and then just start scribbling. You need to unstuck yourself. So for that you need to just let things flow. So I think picking up something and scribbling really helps. So probably this is one such spread. Again, doodle people, and there's a cat that's laughing. Hopefully not at me, but yeah. Some more doodle people. So I was like getting into trying to understand like faces and features and expressions. That was the phase I was in. Again, oil pastel, just an experiment. Another oil pastel stuff. Very quick, easy, fun. This is some pattern I tried to create with oil pastels again, because I think that's the quickest thing I could do, is just grab an oil pastel and just draw and doodle something. And I would feel good actually afterwards. Even if it's not a masterpiece, I would feel good. And I guess that's what's most important when you're making art. This is a dream catcher. and it's again oil pastel. Just look at it, how cute that is. Just imagine this in digital space. Like if I make it digitally, it would look so cute, especially like in some picture book, in some children's book. This is gonna look really cute. This is bird. Yeah, I don't know what bird it is, but yeah, again, with oil pastels, I was just trying to mix colors. This is a blue leaf in some background. Again, oil pastel, and it's some sort of bonfire. I tried to create that effect, you can say. This is oil pastel again. I did a lot of oil pastel, I'm not sure. So this is all freehand. This one is freehand. And if you remember, there used to be for Sprite and 7 Up, there used to be a mascot guy with such hair. I guess I tried to recreate that within my memory. I just try to recall that mascot and I try to recreate it. So probably yeah, this is coming from there. The brand ambassador of Sprite and 7 Up. Okay, this is that concealer that I talked about. LA Girl concealer. So this is a negative painting I tried to do of a bird. No, this is not negative painting. This is normal painting. Negative painting is this one. Tribal people near a bonfire. So the inspiration for this was, I guess I saw something similar at the back of the classmate notebook. So I just saw this thick background and some white space, and I think that's what inspired me to draw this. So at the back of a notebook, I saw this design and I thought I could do it with concealer, and I did it. So yeah, it just gives a very earthy look. This, I am assuming, again, I tried to go a step further from doodling people and I added a bit of color to the hair as well, which is pretty light. This was, I'm assuming, maybe I've seen it somewhere. I'm not exactly able to remember like where and when I got all of these things, but yeah, very few things are of my own. But mostly as I was learning and I was trying to understand shapes, figures, forms, shading, color, I've been taking inspiration from anywhere and everywhere I could find, I guess. So yeah, probably I've seen this somewhere and I recreated it. These are kawaii doodles. So as you can see, this is a French fry that's too happy to be eaten, an ice cream stick. Yeah, kawaii thing. I used to think kawaii is how I would go in terms of trying to create art, but I'm not really sure if that's the way I will be heading towards. But yeah, I just tried, gave it my best, and again, some doodle people. This is like really interesting. Probably from Google search. If you search like doodle people, you'll find many doodles of people, and I guess I was trying to fill my page with all of those. I would say this is I was trying to practice the hatching technique, shading, and a bit of perspective. I'm not sure if this is from imagination or was this some sort of exercise. Yeah, so many things, many things. I'm not really sure. Um, but yeah, like if I do remember, I'll definitely credit the other artist who inspired me to create this for sure. This was watercolor, and it's just a random watercolor. Like I do have a couple of watercolors from back in the day, like when I was in school or something. So those are probably like 2 decades old. Trust me, I still got those. Yeah, so you see these still being sold. This Camel Students watercolor. These are still in the market, but the one that I have is packed on May 2001, retailing for 13 rupees. So I still have it. Like I haven't gotten rid of these things. I haven't like really used it that much as well. I didn't really use it that much too, but I don't know if I used this or another one that I had. Pidilite, Akron, something. So this came in a set. So I guess I used this color here. And trust me, even after like 2 decades, I'm able to like reactivate and use them. I so far have these three colors. I had a watercolor, like white watercolor one, but that didn't like really reactivate or something, and I had to discard it. Just still have it, and maybe sometimes I do use it. I don't know why I'm not able to get rid of it because it's not that bad. Yeah, so this is a simple watercolor thingy. I guess two colors trick I was trying. I remember after I added this yellow background, I just did the entire thing with blue, but blue plus yellow sort of gives you green stuff. So yeah, it looks a little greenish. Again, this is something I was trying with the same two colors uh, to see if I can reactivate them and make them work. They're not that bad. I mean, after 2 decades, they're still like, if I'm able to use it, then yeah, kudos to them. This is a random, I think a random doodle. Maybe when I was feeling a little low, I was asking questions. I was just, I don't know, sometimes things just come out of you and they find their expression, and this is that expression. All right, so this is, I have used acrylics. This is where I've used acrylics. So this is the first time after a long time I was trying my hand at acrylics. So with the acrylic fan brush, I tried to make the shape of this tree, and I was trying to see if acrylic is my medium. Honestly, I still don't know what my medium is. Probably all mediums. I kind of figure out a way to put them into my art, but yeah, I was just trying to explore and see how it feels on the paper and how am I feeling while painting with them. So again, acrylic flowers, a rose, an acrylic rose. This doesn't exactly look like a rose, but yeah, I I guess I was just trying to make it work. This is another acrylic part of the plant, but yeah, this was an acrylic thingy, and I diluted the paint a little, and I did this as well. When you dilute acrylic, you can create a watercolor effect, but the only downside is you can't reactivate any of it. So it's probably set in stone. What? Well, I guess I was trying again my hand at anatomy. I don't know if I saw this somewhere and I tried to draw it, or it just came to my mind and I did it. But yeah, trying a bit of anatomy there. Oh, so I think I saw this again. Random internet search. This is just hatching, a lot of hatching, just creating a kitty with a fine liner. Also, I have some notes here which are, I guess, would help anyone. I guess this is something I've learned from Mark Liam Smith, that when you're starting to draw something, you start with big shapes. You start with big shapes, then you add in small shapes, then you put in contour lines, then shading, then details. So this is something I made a bit of notes so that I can probably refer it whenever I can. This is a horse. Again, it's a pencil sketch that I followed along Mark Liam Smith's tutorial. So there's a lot of he talks a lot about the shapes and the shading, and just using graphite pencils. If you can create such wonders, just imagine what will happen if you add color to all of this. So that's, I think we all will start somewhere and should start somewhere, and yeah, and not be just ashamed of anything. I mean, I've made a lot of things that I'm not really proud of, but I'm on a journey and I accept that I'll have to start from scratch, and I'm absolutely okay with that. Okay, here's where something interesting is happening. This is watercolor, as you can see. I've just let the watercolor do its own thing. For example, first I have done a light wash, and then I have dabbled pigmented water in there, and I just let them dry so that it created this texture. Similarly, here it's a watercolor background with a couple of colors mixed, and this is an oil pastel on top. I guess this is where things got really interesting, that on a watercolor background I'm able to, put oil pastel and have like such incredible result. And it was fun too. This is entirely oil pastel. Like, I don't know, I just wanted to use up my oil pastel so bad that I ended up doing these little things that now are very endearing to me. This again is an oil pastel thingy, so I guess I'll pick up oil pastels again, and I would love to explore them a lot more. This is again oil pastel, and I really like the way I'm able to overlay colors, and it's giving this nice effect. I don't know what this scenery actually is all about. Probably a farmland and someone riding their bicycle, but it looks a little weird. This is all right. During this same time, I was working through a book called Drawing is for Everyone by Kateri Ewing. You guys should check that out. So, in that book, again, it starts from scratch. It's about values and shading and everything. So, I tried to recreate a bird that was already there in that book. It was a sparrow, and I tried to recreate it, and I wrote it strangely doesn't look like a sparrow, but shading, hatching, and values of pencils, graphite pencils. You can create a lot of wonderful things. I have started that book. Drawing is for Everyone. I did a couple of exercises, and that was it. It's still there. I will go back to it, but I don't know when. There's a lot of inspiration in and around us, so I guess it this is from that book itself. So here I was trying to work along with shading of graphite pencils, like various intensity of shading, and I was trying to create a bit of like a 3D effect, if you will. Okay, this is something this is my own creation. This is not any reference, but this is just my own creation. I guess I was traveling in auto and I saw this scene that was in my head for so long. I thought, okay, let me try putting it on a piece of paper, and this is how it turned out. It's not great, but I'm happy that I just did it. Sometimes you will have a lot of ideas, but you usually don't work on to execute them. So execution is where all the magic lies. Some ornate design, like whenever I don't know what to draw, I do some scribbles or some design. I had to do something. So that all this was last year. I was just doing something or the other every day, and I think this is one such spread where I just did random stuff, random stuff. Again, my lovely oil pastels are back, and trust me, these are my original characters, OC. So I remember I thought of like some bugs and everything, and this is what I've come up with. So these are bugs in a bug world, and yeah, just look at that. Oil pastel has done some incredible texture. So these guys are looking like so cute. So these are my OCs, and I might build a world around them. I don't know. This is an idea that has come to me, and these again are my original characters. So this is a couple. I am sure they are also insects. They don't look like that. So here's the husband, because he has got these muscles, and these are his 4 legs, and these are his back legs, and she is his wife. She's a little puny and nimble. She doesn't have the muscles that he has, but yeah, they are a couple. I don't know their name. I don't know where they are from, but they are my original characters. They're insects. Yeah, hopefully I'll do something about these characters. I don't know. I guess when a termite is zoomed in, this is how it would look probably. I'm not sure, but yeah, I guess that oil pastel, I guess it has some magic because I ended up doing all these crazy things. Yeah, sometimes I do things like this to calm myself down. So these are a little meditative in nature because you're making patterns and you're trying to understand a lot of things with patterns and shapes and everything. And this sort of mandala art, I guess it's known to make you calm, but for me, I guess it doesn't work because I get really stressed that I'm not able to complete them in one sitting. For me, I have to complete an art piece. When I sit and I'm ready to do something, it has to be complete. I mean, that's the thought process that I approach art, which is very bad. Do not approach art like that. It's not a race, but I wanted to race. I wanted to race an imaginary um, race with myself because I hadn't created anything for so long. And I finally was in a space where I was able to create all of these. And yeah, I thought I'll try anything and everything without any limitations or boundaries. And yeah, this was one. So I like looking at them, I like watching others do it, but I realized probably this is not for me because I got really stressed as to why I'm not able to finish all of this at one go, which was so stupid of me. But this is a watercolor. This is not from the 2 decade old watercolor. This is a new watercolor that I purchased. It's a tube watercolor by Camel. So yeah, you can see there's a little bit of difference, and I was working through wet on wet in on such flimsy paper. I was pushing my luck and trying to do some wet on wet technique, but no, you shouldn't do that. You need to have like at least 300 GSM paper or 140 LB paper. Try wet on wet watercolor techniques. But yeah, if you are a little crazy like me, you can try your luck. And this is the last spread. Woohoo! We are at the end. I guess this is again from a random internet search, doodle people or something. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to draw that I like drawing? But these were all tiny experiments, and I'm glad I took this journey and I experimented because now I've got a bit of understanding as to what is it that I like doing, and that is landscapes. I like doing loose watercolors and landscapes and things like that. So going forward, I'll be showing you all those other things that I have explored, and this is my second sketchbook only, finished second sketchbook tour, and I have a couple of other sketchbooks that I'm halfway through. So probably once I'm done with these, I will take you along with this journey of mine as well. So far, this is my journey, and I am Arcanely Artist, and you're watching me on my channel. Stay tuned. I have your kind of art journey your way. I mean, who can say anything to you? Just pick up supplies, pick up cheap things, play around, and just don't forget to have fun. Bye.